quest with my main character, and I did this what's it called, event. Um, what was it? Dantooine,
Breaking
I think it
news.
was.
A pirate fleet has assaulted the Republic planet Dantooine.
Yeah,
The
there it is.
weakness of the Republic is obvious even to the galaxy's lowest scum.
So it explains. Occasionally, it would announce the event is ongoing currently, and I did play it on my main character. I wasn't really having issues with it. It was pretty fun, except for the last part where I reached the bridge and I had to try and examine the bridge stability. I had a bit of difficulty figuring it out because I couldn't see on my questing items that I need to use a quest item, and yeah, that's about it. I think. Yesterday, my healer, I got pretty lucky, I would say. I did get somewhat a boost. I did get some. Um, what is it called? Let me check. It's one of the raids that was at, there we go, R4 Anomaly. And at the time when I did the raid, I had, what was it? 324 item score, or whatever you call it. Let me see here. Yeah, item rating. And I was way too undergeared for that, especially at the later bosses. Though the people that was in the group was kind enough for me to stay. But the people that were in the group with they had no patience at all. Like if some of them left after one wipe and after 15 minutes because they had to do something in real life, and every, I don't know. So we recreated basically the group, oh, five times or 6 times. We recreated the group. Let me see what I need with my main stories. That's the thing I've noticed is a lot of the main storyline that I have, I know for a fact I have completed. For example, the Wars, Hoth, Taris, Quesh, Tatooine, Elam. I know for a fact I have completed those with my main character, which is my sorcerer, healer, and this guy here, my tank, Juggernaut. And I have no clue why, but for some reason the game see it as I have not progressed them. So right now I'm just gonna rush through them. It should take a couple of hours, I think, so it should be fine content. But I might have to change my title. No, it should be fine. It should be fine. Now, what was it? Yes, one of the raid group was kind enough for me to get boosted. And one of the... I think it was the last boss, I'm not entirely sure. Let me recheck the boss list. Anomaly. There it is. Yeah, Lady Dominique. The DPS was not good enough for us to kill it. But, and my healing was not good enough either. Because of that, we couldn't survive long enough for DPS to take it down when the DPS is also lacking. Now, if I had more gear, we would probably have killed it in the long run, because eventually, since I'm under geared, my energy would drop exponentially around phase 2 of the boss. But I did manage to kill the rest of the bosses, and I was going blindly. I didn't know what I was doing. I just followed their explanations. Oh, even though the raid group I was with did explain in a DPS or a tank viewpoint. Like, I keep trying asking them, okay, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not a DPS or a tank. So what is it that I need to do? So none of them explain it because they keep talking over each other all constantly. And I was like, okay, fair enough. Let's just see how it goes. Not gonna bother with trying to understand what they try to explain me. So let's just see how the boss works, and I'm just gonna try avoid everything else that are in the ground and everything. But I have understood what to do, except for the robot. The robot, I have no idea what I was doing. I just know that you have to avoid stuff that are blinking and burning and laser beams. That's about it. But I did manage to get some raiding gear. Not raiding gear, raiding tokens from on my main character for the healer, the one that I played the previous stream. So my gear item score went for 330, and I tried to understand the new gear render, because mainly is they have changed that quite a bit in a way that it is more, how can I say it, a bit more complicated, but at the same time not complicated. Like the gear vendors at the end game area is split up in flashpoint, as in dungeon, or in raids operations. And those you get in the flashpoints aren't that high or that good, but they are good enough for you to start doing raids. The early ones, the easier ones, I would say. Now, I had to look up some video guides and forum discussions trying to understand how and what is the best way for you to get the items. And the way they have changed it around is you need to do daily stuff and like daily missions, and you will get currency such as daily resource matrix.
You'll regret that.
Those are from daily dungeon, daily missions, I believe. I'm not entirely sure. I just know it's something to do with dailies here. Oh, there it says. Mission, missions in daily area, world bosses, uprising, and PvP. And these, I believe it's this one that you also need to as a currency, which also drops from bosses in dungeons and raids, I think. Yeah, flashpoint here. And there is another currency, I think it was conquest and tech fragment, that you also need as a material for buying the gear. Now, the most annoying part of gearing, from what I have to understand, is they have implemented some sort of a side. How can you call it? Side progression, comparing to side progression to the current vendor gearing up, the one that I just explained with dungeons and raids. Now there's another one that you can also, let's say there are vendors here, let's say 4 vendors here that are dungeon and raid, and behind the, in another vendor side, there is a crafting, how can you, it is a crafting progression based vendor. Now the thing is, you will ask the vendor what type of gear that you want in what level state, and you have to give them the first item in that level gear. So what you have to do is go over here into the vendors, level up your gears, and do raids and dungeons. And the item that you got is at the highest level. You turn that into fragment, dismantle it, and those that are here, they will learn the recipe into pieces. Now, when I say pieces is, oh, I don't have, there we go. It's these pieces here. Item parts, augmentation, and enhancements. Those are the ones that the vendors from those recipes they will give you. Now those items will be the items that you just item score that you just dismantled. Meaning, let's say I bought, currently my item is 3 or 4, and the one that I just bought was, let's say, 310. And then if I dismantle it over here, then I can get 310 item pieces. And once I have, they would approximately cost around 100,000, I think it was. So I buy, let's 20 in total of each individual piece, and I would open each individual item that I have, input those, and then it would become 310 item rating. my sword. And I will do that in each every armor except for accessories. Accessories are seems to have a different pathway as well. Like I would say, they explain that so poorly and where you can get it for new players that were not there when they implemented those new systems. It's so poorly done in a way that it's so hard to explain for new players. Like I had to Google and hope I have understood it. I was like, okay, I got the 330 item and I was so happy, but then I learned in those recipe thingies that I have to dismantle it. Now the item I got was an not accessory, what was it? Trinket? Relic, there we go. And I know I try to calculate what will be most beneficial if I upgraded the accessories first or my gear first, but from what I could see, my gear needed to be upgraded. So I had an option from what kind of recipe I want from, I think it was 310, 312, 314 or 316 and that kind of stuff. I can't remember what the numbers were, but that one where I had to choose my own number of what type of gear score I want as a learned recipe, I was so confused until I looked up in YouTube and saw someone explain it. I was like, okay, I think I understand it, but if I made a mistake, then I lost the best gear item I have obtained if I made a mistake. So I chose, at first I was thinking of getting the highest number, but after watching the video saying, oh, the item that you give in must be within that gear score. And I was like, oh, then that means I have to give it into, I have to learn the recipe that gives me 330 gear item. Wait a minute. Why is it? Oh, I'm in the wrong area. Yes. After learning what type of progression gear score or whatever the gear vendor is, I kind of understand how long it will take me for me to gearing up. But from what I have seen, those raids that used to be normal raids, like oh, what is it called? Dread Palace or something, I can't remember. Dread Fortress. This used to be one of the highest level raids comparing to the old raids, right? The only one I have done is Dread Fortress because people kept no. Yes, that Dread Fortress. That's the one I have done so far of raiding. Now the reason is people keep asking in chat they need to farm the currency material. This is the tech fragment run for the fortress, and from there I understood doing the raid was the old raids are now in a way lowered to a point that you do not need a tank to carry you. You just need a healer and you rush through everything. Or you can get a tank but not a healer and you just rush through everything and get the materials. That's what I have understood so far. Now with the old raids, I don't know if they have implemented the same thing where you don't really need a full group. For example, explosive conflict and guard of the machine, I believe. I'm not sure if this is an old one. I don't recognize it. Caracas Palace is a very old, and Scum and Villainy is definitely old as well. Terror from Beyond is old. The Ravagers? I can't remember that. Tuberous Courtyard is somewhat old, but yeah. Those I have not tested yet. If they are required a proper raiding group or not. But from the looks of it, it doesn't. If they are the same implementation on the Dread Fortress. What's this? Yeah, I'm not interested in side quests. I just want to complete the story of the planet, that's it. What? I thought I was further away. Now, there are some aspects of the game where I have been experimenting with is with my old characters. If I wanted to have a second class, and that's what I've noticed. Even though I would like to try it out, but at the same time I am too, what do you call it, emotionally invested in the characters that I have created, because I have already created a backstory to them. Now, in a moment I can show you what I mean with the backstory. Now, in this game, there is a good old, how can you call it, RP system, role-playing system. I think it was in Legacy. No? Yeah, there it is. Family Tree. Now, I already have my own family tree, and the way I see each character is how they obtain their powers. The backstories of each character have their own special, how do you say it? Speciality. Google can translate, help me. Special. Speciality. There we go. Speciality? For example, oh, why is this dragging out? What the hell? Okay, there we go. That was weird. Now, for example, each character has their own speciality and how they obtain their powers with um, their upbringing and their hardship backstory, how they obtained it. And if I add second class, that backstory kind of gets removed, which is the reason why I don't want to add back second class in the current characters that I have created. Now I do have plan of making a trooper. Well, I have made it, but I'm not too especially invested in that character. So I wouldn't mind, once I have reached a specific level, for me to get a second class, that I would use class option. I wouldn't mind it at all. But that would take a bit of longer because for me to reach. Currently, I do plan of playing the game for a month, so I should have enough time to do that. What was it? Though I do have plan of playing other games, which kinda makes me doubt what I really want to do. First thing is, if I want to, I have way too many characters that I really like of their backstories and storylines, how they progress. Since every character have their own how can you say it, storyline progression in every expansion. So some of the text or lines are different from your previous character. That's okay. No. They are class locked in a way. So let's say Sith Warrior. They have their own lines, different lines than the Sith Inquisitor and Trooper and Bounty Hunter and so on and so on. Everyone have their own area of lines that they are saying. And I have played every expansion now with my Sith Inquisitor. The next one I'm quite curious about is the Sith Warrior, which is the reason why I'm trying to play the storyline. Now, if I want to keep continuing my Sith Warrior, it's gonna take me even further longer for me to reach with my Trooper, the one that I want to do second class with. So that's gonna take even longer, since I would like to finish this character on the story side. Now, biggest issue is the expansions. They take forever to complete.
Quiet,
Like
Roga. We're not alone. Your strength is impressive, Sith, but no amount of power will take Quesh from the Republic.
So each individual expansion, there are specific areas they just drag on forever, and some expansions are just bad. Like you have to endure it, but for you to endure it, you have to finish it if you want to finish the storyline. And yes, those are the ones that I am not looking forward to. Your strength is in brother.
My lightsaber will cure your confidence.
Just try to defeat me. True Jedi need only the Force.
Now, also one of the things that I've noticed is I think there are different type of how can I say it? I think it was comedic points in a sentence or in a okay, what I'm trying to say is in my Sith Inquisitor, the first one is a female. Now I tried to, when I returned with my main old character with a Sith Inquisitor, no, not Inquisitor, yeah, Sith Inquisitor assassin, and that is a male, and his jokes are way different than the females, and it kind of leads the conversation in a different route. And I was trying out when I would log back in, like before I started streaming, I was checking out the companion, those quest markers above when in your ship. When you click them, that means usually indicates you have reached a specific amount of progression with the character, companion character, and you can have a conversation with them. And his jokes were so funny. Makes me want to replay male character, Inquisitor, Warrior, not Warrior, Assassin.
Watch your step, Jedi.
Roga.
Nice
Not buying
try,
it.
Broga, but you're not weaseling out of this.
Also, I've noticed I do need to, for some reason, it is not implementing the system. Is it user? Yeah. Show conversation alignment. Why is it turned off? Main base. Oh, I went way too far. Also, why is my PvP on? This is a PvP zone, right? Okay. That's right. Some planets are PvP.
The Jedi and his hut are dead.
Excellent. The Republic will be furious. You have my thanks, and that of my council. We'd still be fighting over Quesh's mines if not for your help.
Does the Empire have something in store for this planet?
In time, we will take over the Quesh venom industry. As for our military, there's still plenty to do.
The Republic's still fighting. Help us pile up enough bodies here, they'll retaliate on other planets, then we'll have our war.
But first, enjoy your victory. Quesh will soon be ours, and the Republic grows more furious by the day.
Oh, there's cosmetic. Yeah, definitely. This one with the cape. Though, I kind of forgot, I do need to bring out my wife. You may be wondering who it is.
Goodbye then. Hi there.
Jessa Wilson. Now, I've turned her into the dark side. And she's my wife. That was a pleasant storyline. Side story with your character, I would say. It was so fun. Like a lot of the companions in the original expansion, how do we say it? Classic Star Wars Old Republic. They are so much more thought out. How to be executed and how to be progressed. And do you want to keep some of them? You can even kill if they have done you wrong, and if you kill them, they are basically removed from your companion list. I remember one of the characters I created, one of the second, third or something, I can't remember. I killed my companion and he's no longer there. I think it is this character, I'm not entirely sure. No, he doesn't have... Oh. It's right, okay, never mind. It is another different character then. Like, there are so many characters that you have very good backstory to, and how some of them are... That's what I need to pay attention to also as well, is I don't know how and why. When I logged into my Inquisitor Assassin, all my companions' pants were gone. I'm like, what? Where are they? They're not in my inventory. They are not in my stash. They're just gone. Now the reason I'm kind of annoyed by this is they are using what do you call those? Adaptive armor, yeah. And those that they are using are the one I way back then when I started the game, the cosmetics that I bought. And I don't even remember what they were using as pants. That's the thing I'm kind of annoyed about. Okay, next one is Taris. Taris. I do not remember which side it is on. That's Rishi. Ha. Wait, where is it? Also, one of the biggest thing that I have to complain about is every expansion, each area that you have been questing on just gets small. Oh, there it is. Gets smaller and smaller. I feel like every expansion there is, you get more claustrophobic. That's rather annoying. Like back with the classic of Star Wars, the Old Republic, the base story areas, they are open space, open world, basically in a way, and epic battlefields. As of now, it's like areas get tinier and tinier. And the last story that came out with Shevisla, it's basically you running around the tunnels entire time. That's rather, even though you are in a desert area in a way, I think it was desert, forest, whatever you can call it. With that aesthetic, it could have been so good. Like on top, it's desert. At the caverns or the pathway of the not underground. Yeah, the canyons. There we go. They were forests. Like it could have been so good and beautiful, but for some reason they decided to do just the tunnels, the sewage tunnels, and
your assistance with a special assignment in this area.
okay, which kind of missed a huge missed opportunity. That's how I feel about it. Like they did show when you land, and they showed the overview of the foresty area while you were on top on the desert. That looked good. That was one of the best scenes. And then they ruined it. Like a lot of the location sites, I feel like after the Dreadlords, I think, I'm not entirely sure, but that is based off my memory. It's been like a year or two since I last played, so the last one I can remember that was looking phenomenal and good was the Dreadlord's area, and then let's see here. Can I even see the galaxy? Galaxy map, there we go. Sagul was good, but somewhat closed off with the city, which kind of 50-50, I would say. 50-50 good and bad. The next expansion, Maquette, was okay, but it was very cinematic, where you walk around, jumping around up and down with the mountains, and it was entertaining. But there was a huge period. Oh wait, well, I'm getting attacked. There was huge period of time where you are jumping around way too much. And what else? What's the next expansion? Yavin 4, that was good. It was the old Imperial area. Now I don't remember Darnavis. I do not remember Darnavis, yeah. I do recall there were areas that were looking good, that were explorable, but the moment you start to enjoy the area, it's like poof, cut off, saying, oh yep, we completed that, you don't have to play the area anymore. It's like, but you have showed us so much of the area that looks good. You cannot just cut it off like that. But my biggest complaint is, I'm not entirely sure if it is the same storyline with the other classes, but the new story, the newest one that got released, the person that was in charge of the battle scenes and the fights, it feels like it's someone who has no understanding how a battle scene works. Like, even an amateur can see that doesn't add up. There's no logic behind their positioning. And the area they were fighting in was so tiny that they didn't know where to place the characters. That's the thing that annoys me the most. Now, they have done a couple of expansions, I believe, that are around Mandalorians. But I kind of feel like in the Mandalorian, no, not Mandalorian, Bounty Hunter, they did show the Mandalorian ship. How big it is, how phenomenal the area was with the ship, and that's it. They didn't use it as a, how can you call it, as a base location like the Imperial ship, which I find myself that was a huge letdown. the Mandalorian ship was huge, and if I have understood,
Stop slacking.
a lot of the area and a lot of the people that are using the ship are different clans, different people. But I didn't really understand why they couldn't use different home bases. For example, in the Imperial side, the home base is the Imperial fleet, and they could have used Mandalorian ship as well. That's what I thought.
Hear that? It's the
Oh
Sith
no, it's
Warrior
her. I
Jedi.
forgot about her.
I alerted Republic security to your location. Consider it a...
I thought we were closer than that.
Save your charms for Republic security.
I'm kind of surprised Chesa didn't get angry. Angry with me. Now, the best expansions from based off my memory is the Rakul. The is second place. The reason is Rakul is somewhat 50-50. A lot of it was how can you say it? It was pretty tame. Like some of the stories that were explained and shown, you could say it was very much predictable. What is gonna happen right in front of you? Let's say here, there's something gonna happen here, but in the Rakul storyline, you kind of see right away where it is, what's
Maybe I
gonna
should send
happen.
more droids your way.
Back.
I'm talking.
Come, my stu.
And the best part of it was the Rakul's storyline was in a lot of areas very scary, very adrenaline jumping, where you get jump scared out of the blue, like right in the middle of a dark corridor. That was good.
The dark side's strong with you. Too strong. Saving you is beyond.
What are you waiting for?
Say goodbye to your pets, Sulan.
The Jedi was close to those monsters, though he'd have died quicker and messier if you'd left him to me.
Your ego is overinflated.
I just call it like terror still.
Now, the best one for me personally is definitely the Dreadlords. Now, the reason is my character, the way back then when the game came out, I always thought my character was, her goal was to be as strong as a Dreadlord and even maybe stronger. But when it came out, I was like so hyped for it. I was so excited. On top of that, I think I'm not so sure if it was after not one expansion came out, one of the Dreadlord's helmet was dropped. And after that, I was like, yes, this would fully immerse me to my character to a Dreadlord. I was so excited. That's the helmet I was explaining previous stream where I was regretful that I did not manage to complete it. But I am gonna try see if I am able to
dead, along with
this
his
time.
Neck-Ghoul colony.
Darth Graver said you were ruthless. Without their Neck-Ghoul pits, the Republic is weak and defenseless.
Darth Gravers must have another assignment for me.
Of course, Taris will always require your talents. General Farvin's leading our battle against the best of the Cathar settlers. They've dug in near the wreckage of a crashed Republic cruiser, the Endar Spire. Help General Farvin against the Cathar, crush them, and we can finally strike at the Republic's base.
At your service, my lord.
Now, with the Emperor, the reason why it is not even top. Okay, the cinematics, they were top notch. Yes, they were one of the best trailers ever. It's similar to. Excuse me. It's similar to World of Warcraft cinematics, where they were very good. But Sakul was bad story. Like, yes, some of it was phenomenal, some of it was very well written, but there are way too much of dragging on, and there's way too much
Displaying all authorized destinations. Travel route is confirmed.
hateful plot twists. Now, plot twists, some of in this game are okay. Some of them. It is not something that makes you hate the story. Some of them they're quite funny. Some of them are very good, but with that story, the so-called plot twists, you just hate the game even more. The writers, like not the game, but the writers of that specific stories, you just hate them. Like, why did they choose to do that? Why can you not keep continuing that storyline or whatever? And like, especially one of the companions. Oh my god, they kept forcing you to keep befriend that person, but even though your character's personality does not and will not ever befriend that type of character. Now, there is a character in Sakul storyline. I can't remember a specific of that expansion's name, but it's where you fight the Emperor. And
hold on a moment. Scanning signals.
Wait, why is there a quest item here? Oh, I thought that was 3 active quests. Never mind. I'm not taking that. one of the characters in Sakul Emperor expansion. Yes, you become a fleet leader and everything, and it was epic, it was good. But they kept dragging on that stupid character that... Okay, I'm gonna spoil here if you have not played it, but spoiler alert, I would say. He kept backstabbing you, your character. No matter what happens, he's right in front of you, and your character can easily force choke, let's say force choke, or lightning, or do whatever that is needed to kill that person. But the writers just like, yeah, we're just gonna let him go. Your character is not gonna do anything to him. Not just once, not just twice, at least 10 times. I'm like, fuck this story. I'm sick and tired of it. Like, there is some sort of a forced interactive removed. Like, they keep saying, oh, your interaction with some characters are crucial. Those are the ones that are gonna determine your story. But no. They are forcing you to
Glad you could join our fight. I'm General Farvis. Darth
yeah.
Vader spoke highly of you, my lord. Perhaps you can show these Mandalorians how the Sith win a fight. We brought them here to help slay the Cathar, wipe the Republic off Taris. But the Mandalorians are sloppy. No respect for a clean victory. To rout the Cathar, we need good old-fashioned Imperial might. And you, of course.
The Republic's allies don't stand a chance.
True, but breaking their resistance is proving difficult. Cathar settlements cover this part of Taris. His name's Bashoon. Some call him ferocious, brutal, terrifying. I say he's a dirty alien who needs to be put down.
Damn, I like his voice.
I have experience taking out Republic pawns.
Commander Order, Master Sulan, I heard. But the Bashoon...
I've got a gift of my own. What?
You're about as interesting to me as the Teresian wildlife.
I can see right through your lies.
Stop. Take your anger out on Bashoon. Republic...
I'm making no promise.
Not up to... Let us...
There's no...
Wait, really? That's so far.
Displaying all authorized destinations.
I kind of feel like there are the way the story is being written is being like, let's say BioWare wants to write their own story of the Star Wars universe in this specific era where our character is, right? But they are really not allowed to write in a specific way, so it feels like they are being hindered by another different team of let's say maybe Disney, or I'm not entirely sure if EA has something to do with it. Since I do know EA is also owning BioWare, and there's a different of interest. Or if it is Disney, since Disney owns Star Wars franchise. Like, that's the feeling I get, that there are way too many story editing. Like some part of it is it's like, oh, the story is going the correct path, and all of a sudden someone changed that out, and you like, wait, that's not the path that you
You're not dead.
you started to tell the story about what happened, and it feels like someone wrote it on top of someone's story and into something that was not originally intended, and it is visible. And all of a sudden, next scene, it's like someone else wrote it, that part. And you're like, what? Those stories don't even connect with each other at the same time. I don't know. That's the feeling I get. Like, with at least the base story of Star Wars, or the Old Republic, it feels like we are trying to connect the stories, right? And the scenes together. Of course, there are many areas that where it's like, wait a minute, they just said that in the next previous scene, but they're doing the different path on this next scene. What happened? Of course, those moments are there, but it's not that visible comparing to the newer expansions. Also, these here, those currencies. I have no. Oh, turn these into PH4. You ship to earn reputation. Okay, got it. It is something to do with the seasonal companion.
This is so much fun.
Now, with Star Wars universe, with the Old Republic, right? This MMO, the classic story is your character gonna have his own storyline. That is your decision what type of character you want. But as the expansion progresses, that option kinda starting to disappear. Now the reason huge change was with the expansion that released Saku. Can't remember what it's called. Was to find a findsman. Yeah, the alliance part of it. It's like to start off the expansion. Of course, you get imprisoned and everything, and everything that you have worked on for years end and have built your character story up, they threw it out the window. So once you start the expansion, your companions, they gone. Your ship, personal ship that you fly around with, the one I just flew around to this planet, it's gone. So everything that you work for, that everything that you have been excited about to get, to build your character, everything is gone. Now, I think it was, the story was that you were cryogenically frozen for years or months. I can't remember. And once you have set a foothold and recovered and built a base, you back then, when the expansion came out, you were not allowed to get your companions back. At least not one of them, not even one. And that infuriated everyone, I remember. Because it's like saying, even though we have communication option of your favorite character companion, and you could have messaged them and said, oh, I'm in this galaxy, come and here. I survived, I am alive, and that kind of stuff. When the expansion came, that option wasn't even in their thought. It's like, no, we starting off brand new storyline, so nothing, everything old, they gone, and people didn't like it. And then they were like, oh, okay, we understand your anger, we understand your complaints, we're gonna give you option to recruit your old companions then. That was so stupid.
I took out the Cathar's weaponry. They're defenseless.
Don't try taking all the credit. I smashed more than my...
Excellent, though.
Not...
Tell me what happened.
Don't...
Drop.
Just tell me.
I'm...
What?
Not...
Jeez.
I would say when this game came out, what side I have played most with is Imperial side. Yes, I have created Republic characters, and I have maxed them out back then. Even now, as not now, but I tried to, but I got disencouraged to play further. Anyway, I did level Republic characters to, I think it was 55. Where's the legacy? There it is. As you can see, nope, there it is. Republic classes. I'm level 50. So the only thing I am kind of regretting was Trooper. Now, I believe I leveled it up to level 55 and I didn't want to bother with it. I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna. We did one of the expansion. I can't remember. I cannot remember which one it is. When it came out, you get a free level booster, and I used it on a trooper, thinking, oh, since I'm gonna level it up. Not level. Well, since I'm gonna be boosting it up, and the requirement for you to get this bonus was just to reach level 50. I was like, yep, it's home. I'm not gonna level it up. I'm sick and tired of questing in the Republic side. I didn't want to play it. Now I used my booster just for not wanting to play 5 levels. It was easy. Like it's not. It's like a day, half a day's farming, questing. I didn't want to do that. I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that. I was so confident, and I was gonna finish it up. I was like, yep, I'm done. Yes. Okay. No, don't have to quest anymore with that character. But huge issue I've noticed. I cannot remember where it is. I read it, read the notification. Now, first things first. First, I've noticed I did not get the bonus at all. I was like, why? And it seems you have to follow these quests. Wait a minute, I have completed these. Anyway, back to the story. What I've noticed was one of the notices said you have to manually level up a character to that level without using a booster, level booster. Now, I had to look that up, and after finding out, I was so furious because with the level booster, it didn't explain it to you what you're gonna be missing out. It just said, oh, you can level up your character and that's it. That's what I remember. It didn't explain you will not be able to get the bonus for that specific class achievements, even though your character is that level. Kinda puts your character level booster out of the window, basically. If you are gonna be focusing on getting that that specific bonus anyway, I don't see the point for you to even using a level booster. That's what I thought. And I could not even get it. I was so furious by of myself and of the game creators of that specific booster. not really
The Empire's
specifically
trying to drive us
explaining
into this,
why.
from our homes.
Thana's weak. I'll show you the real
Stinking. You know, we're all
your life.
watch close.
So
Stop slacking.
I've decided. Actually, before I took a break from the game, like 1 or 2 years ago, I I was gonna create a character, which I did. I leveled it up to level 19, and when I returned, I leveled it up a bit, and thinking, should I actually
Stay on
stream
target,
this?
and you'll share Bashan's fate.
But thought,
That'll send those beasts. Now, why don't you come up?
Stay in there a while. Think about that attitude of yours.
I'm going to escape, and when I do, you'd better be long gone.
but today I leveled up a bit, quested a bit, and reminiscent of remembering Republic quest lines, what I can remember, and what part of the storyline I can look forward to, and what part of the storyline I cannot looking forward to. And I remember part, like around 40% of the storyline of the trooper, I like it. The rest of it is like, no, not my cup of tea. And I got disencouraged to level it up again. I was like, oh, go on, I don't want to. But I want the achievement. I think it's called Legend. That means that you have leveled every character to level 50. But I want that. At the same time, I would like to continue my stories with my main characters and side characters, so they are up to par with my main character, so I can start farming materials.
I intercepted Bashun's final transmission. Magnificent work. His death was gratuitous but effective. The Cathar are abandoning their homes in terror.
I did what was called.
And the results.
There you are. 3 meters of durasteel. That's what I cut through to escape my cell.
I like a woman who can bounce back from
You dare talk to me like that after the stunt you pulled?
What was that, Thana? Your transmission, it's breaking up.
I always liked him.
Much better. I've heard enough of her ranting.
Yeah.
Lord Gravis expects
Way
you
back
to
then,
be
I hated her so much. Well, she is created in a way so you hate the character, but at the same time, this guy here, General Farin, was always been my favorite because What was that? You're breaking up. Oh man. Yeah, he always been my favorite character, I would say. Like there are funny characters that you meet in the in part of the universe in this Star Wars universe that are so funny. Like kind of too bad the fact that those characters didn't either get killed or they didn't you didn't get to see their progression of either becoming higher leaders or anything like that, because there were a lot of characters that are way too funny and way too good to have around. I don't know why, but it's so cold here, even though the radiator is on.
Stop slacking.
Lord Shathin at your service. I was relieved to hear you'll be leading our assault. If your command of the Force is any indication, this will be a proud day for all Sith. Darth Gravis, your friend has arrived.
You've performed well. Taris is scarred. The Republic's support weakened. I trust you're ready to deliver the killing blow.
The Republic won't survive another day on Taris.
Such conviction will prove necessary in the fight ahead. Centuries ago, Darth Malak began the destruction of Taris. We're about to complete his work. We will crush the Republic reconstruction and the Jedi responsible. Thanks to you, they're cornered in their base. Their final sanctuary on Taris.
And soon to be their tomb. Don't worry, Gravis. I'll tear down their base, then soak Taris with Republic blood.
When you get killed, I hope I'm there to watch and laugh.
You'll never get the pleasure.
Thana, I knew you'd come running at the first scent of blood. Unfortunately, the base's approach is infested with Republic forces. They're blocking our army's advance.
Rain bombs on their heads.
They're shielded. Only close combat will work.
Shields or not, I want them pulverized.
They'll need more than shields to escape.
And me. I'm not passing up a good fight.
Clear the battlefield, then we'll hit the Republic base and finally drive them off Taris.
Yeah. That's gonna have to wait for tomorrow. I am going to bed right now. I'm tired. Anyway, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed. I know the title was a bit misleading. I got sidetracked. I decided to do my main story of the classic instead. since it seems a lot of them have returned to my quest log and I would like to complete them. So I have more space in my quest log. They are taking way too much space. Anyway, I'm gonna